Is your job secure? Is the economy in a recession? What is going on? You came here for the truth, so let me unveil that for you. In today's video, we are going to answer all of those questions. It's important to understand information in depth, looking not only at the obvious technical indicators and the stuff you see in the news, but the anecdotal information starts to tell a very important story. So we'll pay attention to those, we'll bring it all together, wrap it up with a nice little bow on top, and deliver it to you as fast as I possibly can. So let's begin. The first thing we need to look at is Air Canada says freight demand beginning to improve. Very good sign. This is a good sign. We want to pay attention to freight. Every type of freight, logistics. I want to know imports. I want to know exports. I want to know what's going on with every single country, like what's going on with the semiconductors, what's happening with all different types of cargo, what's going on at the ports. I study this stuff, not just for the Money GPS, but of course in my physical products business. I want to know what's going on all levels. I bring you the information condensed down. This is good, but it's only one piece of the puzzle. All right. Management anticipates cargo growth with their Dreamliners. Of course, you can see this. They're obviously saying that in part because it's reliant on their earnings, their profits. They need to show good stuff so they can get more investment. So they have a reason to talk like this too, right? Remember that. Germany is likely to fall into a recession. This is according to the central bank themselves saying it, but was very funny. Very funny. As you can see right here, this second consecutive decline in economic output would put the German economy into a technical recession. Oh, that's right. But it says here at the bottom, however, still no evidence of a recession in the sense of a persistent, broad-based, and distinct drop in economic activity, nor is such a recession currently on cards. So yes, it's a recession, but come on guys, it's not a recession. All right, like that's what they're saying. Yes, it is a recession based on the way that we talk about recession in every previous cycle, but we're not going to call it that because come on, like it's just like it's so ridiculous. It's a recession. Just say it's a recession. It's okay. Just say what you're going to do to get out of it. Do you have a plan? Oh, I know. You're going to print a whole bunch of money. Yeah, that's what they're all going to do. They're going to print money. They're going to use deficits. They're going to use debt. And that means you will get less. Do you understand? Every time they print money, you get less services. You get less services. Do you understand that? Your roads, your bridges, your infrastructure, your healthcare is reduced every time they go out there and pump in the cash. People don't realize that. You should be upset every time they're going to spend money. And the same thing with the Federal Reserve. Everyone cheers them on. They've been cheering them on. Oh, cut interest rates, cut interest rates. And then they bring up, then the inflation goes on, then they increase interest rates. And they, your interest rates are too high, you're strangling the economy. Like it's crazy to see how ignorant most people are. Just reacting to what's going on and not understanding this in a historical sense. This is Jeffrey Gundlach, the bond king, talking about the PCE, personal consumption expenditure. This is the measurement of inflation that the Federal Reserve loves to check out. This is what they say, all right? Now, that cannot go up and have the Fed talking about cutting interest rates. And so that has started to come up during this period of time. And so if they need to keep interest rates higher, the higher they stay, the longer they stay there, the worse it is on the economy. There's no question about that, particularly, I should say, with the stock market. You're so addicted to these rates being at zero. They're just dying. Please get those rates down. Is it going to happen? I don't know. Conference board gives up on U.S. recession call. I mean, this is hilarious. It's not a sitcom, guys. I'm not like, this is a real article out of Reuters. The conference board abandoned a long-running call for the US economy to fall into a recession, although the leading economic index still sees economic output flatlining in the months ahead. Okay, so they are now no longer the Federal Reserve and, of course, the Conference Board. Both are saying no recession in the United States. So there it is. What do you think? Put it in the comments. Let me know. Do you think we are actually in a recession in the United States? If you are in Canada, same thing, depending on where you are. Put that in there, please. Let's get that conversation going. I want to hear your thoughts. Do you agree with the Conference Board? No soft landing. The U.S. economy is going to fall into a recession in the middle of 2024. This is according to Citibank. So it depends who you ask. There's no question about it. You look at a different set of data, you get a different picture. Isn't that the case, right? January wholesale prices rise more than expected, another sign of persistent inflation. So when we look at wholesale prices, PPI, the producer price index, that's something that for a lot of people, they don't see, right? You're not focusing on a PPI. If that came up in CNBC or whatever, most people don't touch on it. I mean, it's not going to come up in your regular newspaper or a regular, your just generic sort of thing. You're going to get in quote unquote inflation. And that's usually what they'll show you is the CPI. So this PPI is what comes before the CPI, because the producer price, the raw materials that are used to make the things that you buy at the store, that has now gone up. So it rose more than expected. And that is, in effect, a concern because we're reliant on rates being cut. Okay? So let's keep an eye on this. I will do so here on this channel. Give a thumbs up so that it is then likely that you will get this in your feed, and I will bring this to you. I promise I will bring you the data and link it back to this one here. FedEx founder issues dire warning about unsustainable government debt. The founder has added his voice to the chorus of views expressing concern about the out-of-control spending. It's hilarious that basically everybody says this, but what is the solution? Oh, I know. You got to go into way more debt. You got to do a universal basic income. You've got to basically, with this printing money, it's got to go crazy when the next crisis occurs. This is the quote unquote solution that they will provide. The World Bank is saying that emerging economies must grow faster to repay their debt. Do you see the problem here? Do you see what I did here? They're telling you there's too much debt. The deficits are too high. You've got a problem. What is the solution? Oh, okay, we need to grow faster. How do we grow faster? We reduce interest rates all the way to rock bottom and we print a whole bunch of money. Do you not see the issue here? It's wild. I mean, I cannot believe it. I can't believe it. Yeah, you got to grow more. But are they going to reduce taxes considerably? Oh, no. They're going to increase taxes. Are they going to figure out a way to get people, to incentivize people to go out and spend money, figure out a way to get the economy going again? Trying to get entrepreneurs to build and hire people from their actual cities, local people? Are they going to incentivize people to grow food and be more self-sufficient so that we don't suck all the resource from, where they're basically scalping it off people, siphoning everything from people instead of becoming self-sufficient? No, none of that is going to happen. You are going to own nothing and be happy. Why can't you understand that? Can't you understand that the World Economic Forum are your overlords and they are going to command you and decide that you got to eat the crickets. You got to eat the bugs. Ah, that's right. You've got a problem, by the way, which is a demographics issue. This is pushing everybody into a corner, pushing the economies into a corner, where I believe the only way out. Okay, look, let me just cover this first. The working age versus the elderly population, percentage of the total population. So essentially, the working age people, less of those, and yet there's more elderly people. So you've got a heavier and heavier burden on those that are still working right now. In the end here, what can we see? There's going to be more expenditure on healthcare. Okay? Let's agree to that. We're going to experience more debt. Deficits will get worse likely. Okay. So, as a result of this, you can expect a few things. Your services that you are used to today will likely be cut. You will not have access to the same services you did today or the ones you will need in the near future. You will have less. You will pay more for those same services. You will have to deal with less. All right? There was a clip that I had seen years ago of, I believe it was the younger Rothschild, okay, the guy with the beard. And, he's all into the carbon stuff and whatever. I could not find it. I've looked for it many times before. If somebody has it, please let me know. Where he says, you're going to have to learn to live with less. It was him. Somebody was kind of, I think they got into I think he was up on stage at some point. When he came off stage, he was kind of around the people, and the guy he was recording him, and they were talking back and forth. And there's the main clip is the one that circulates online, but there's another clip where he says that. He says, you are going to have to learn to live with less. And that was so powerful to me. I watched it several times. It was been many, many years since I've seen that. If anyone's seen that one, I'm pretty sure it was the Rothschild guy. That, to me, is what they have planned for you. You have to do something about it. The one thing that I personally teach is being able to be geographically diversified, have income coming from all over the world, and be able to pick up and go at a moment's notice. How do you do that? I talk about this on the Sunday live class. On the Sunday live class, that's the business class, I teach people how to build a business online, which does exactly that. If you're interested in more detail, themoneygps.com/live. There's a link in the description. I would highly recommend joining the small group of people that we have in there that are learning each and every week, really, truly learning how to mitigate this absolute disaster from happening to them. I hope to see you there. Hit the thumbs up button on the way out. And of course, as always, I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.